Adam wasn't like anyone I met before. When I was using my fictional world as an escape, he would lean into his, using it as some kind of like unshakable confidence. He would say to me, you know, all of the shows you like to watch on Disney Channel or Narnia, they're not just imagination, he told me once. Those worlds are made by people like us. They're called actors, directors, and writers. And you can be that one day. When he said that to me, I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? Do you mean that the people that I'm seeing on TV aren't real? Like they're actors? Yeah, they're just pretending. They're just actors. I didn't know what acting was, so he explained to me and he said acting is like stepping into a different life. You can be anyone else and just pretend to be that person. To me, it was kind of crazy because I had such a complex relationship with the world that it was so unbelievable for me to think that those people that I would watch on TV were part of the same planet I was part of. Think about Disney World, for example. Someone imagined it, created it, and made it into what it is right now. And you believe in this, right? He kept giving me examples of things that I would slowly be attached to and that I was dissociating with the real world when they were part of the real world all along. Adam wasn't just dreaming, he was preparing. He would film himself acting like he was in a film or acting like a protagonist, and he would tell me that one day he would be the next Harry Potter. And to be in a place where you have to rely on yourself and have this other human giving me so much information about the world and things that I wasn't aware of was just like an incredible experience. What struck me the most with him is that he made it possible. He talked about those places like they were magical. And I remember as he was mentioning this whole world that he discovered, he mentioned a very familiar place. He mentioned where my grandma's from, where my family's from. And in my head, I'm like, wait, it's my home, it's where my family's from. So how come it's like considered a magical world? And he was just so amazed. He was like, what? You're from there? Like, that's crazy. Like, do you know how many things you could do over there? Why don't you just like move with her and become more than what you are right now? You mean to tell me that most of my favorite movies are made over there? They're just normal people over there. And he tells me, exactly, normal people from normal places created these things. So why not us? Adam walked boldly through life, knowing that he could step into a bigger and brighter world. It was like he held a mirror up to my imagination and showed me that it wasn't just an escape, but a gateway. From that, Adam became my new best friend. I introduced him to my parents and I was able to go to his place, and it was just so beautiful. His room was just filled with so many posters of Harry Potter and all of those fictional films that I would love. When you would go into his room, it felt like you were stepping into another universe. And as a kid, to imagine all of this in your head and seeing it in front of your eyes was so impressive. I was just so amazed that God would put someone like Adam in my life, because I prayed for someone like him as a friend for such a long time. We were the two losers from school, but we didn't care about that because we knew that we had a fictional world that was bigger than that, where we would be treated as royalty. You know, we became business partners. We even created like a whole business together. You know, I would be writing, he would be Harry Potter, and we would just act like we were in a movie. I finally was happy, but I started to question again. Why do I have to create a fictional world to survive? Why do I have to hide in this fictional world to feel a human experience? All I wanted was just acceptance, you know? And all of the media that I was consuming was telling me how to be accepted, but in ways that seemed a little bit superficial. Most of those protagonists were surrounded by love to some sort, and they would get to a point where They will have to change themselves in order to be accepted. They will have to be popular. And despite having Adam as a best friend, I realized that the media that I was consuming wasn't always a good example, because it kept reminding me the difficult and hard requirements to feel accepted. So to me, I couldn't relate anymore, because I realized how much I couldn't really relate to these characters as much as I thought I could. I don't think Adam knew how much of an observer and student I was with him. He gave me all of the tools I was missing in order to get to know this whole concept of pretending. I didn't know anything about it until he introduced it to me. He would openly tell me, you can be whoever you want, whenever you want. So I used it against him. Fake it till you make it, right?